And welcome to All In Sports in this cold but sunny Sunday afternoon, where we come to you live from Anzac Park, the home of the mighty Gundagai Tigers, as they take on the rampaging Temora Dragons in what's going to be a cracking game of Group 9 Rugby League. Some changes for both sides. Obviously from last week, Will Herring unfortunately picked up an MCL injury, so he's probably out for the season for the Tigers. That'll see SORONAKADAVU come out as centres, where he scored a try-scoring double last week. He's playing a hell of a game, so he'll move into the 5/8 to partner up with Derek Hay. And also for Temora, there was an injury to Grant Hughes. He rolled his ankle during the week, so he won't be in, with Chris Rands coming into lock for that. It's already been a big weekend for Group 9. Obviously, 2 games happening yesterday, and there were upsets galore. It was a cracking couple of games of football. At Laurie Daly Oval at Junee, it was the Junee Diesels coming up trumps over the Temora Blues 54-12. And in what was probably been the upset of the round so far, with I think the Wagga Kangaroos leading by at least 2 or 3 tries with about 5 minutes to go. The Albury Thunder just came rampaging home to end up taking the win 28-24, and that was at McDonald's Park. We'll keep you updated this afternoon with the other game happening this afternoon at Alfred Oval, where the young Cherry Pickers will take on the Wagga Brothers. But right now it's all about the Tigers and the Dragons, and the Tigers have put up the $1,000, so they will have a crack at the Challenge Cup, which is currently with the Temora Dragons. It's a great initiative. It's good to see Gundagai having a crack and see if they can get that extra $5,000 to take on Mad Monday. You never know what you could do with that. So it's a great initiative, and we hope it continues on. But we'll be back very shortly when the teams come to the ground. And thanks for joining us here at All In Sports. And as we see both teams take to the field, obviously the Gundagai Tigers want to get a win on their home field and obviously try and make up for lost time and keep their place in the top 5. And obviously the Temora Dragons, they really want to try and not only maintain the Challenge Cup, but try and catch the young Cherry Pickers and knock them off the top spot and take the minor premiership, which they also did last year. It's going to be a heck of a match. Can't wait to see how it goes. And thanks again for joining us here in All In Sports. And we're off, and Gorman, oh no. And that was a bit of a false start. Looks like a couple of the chasers for the Gundagai Tigers have got off the line a bit quicker, and they've managed to draw the penalty. So Josh McCrone takes a big kick. And instead of starting off their own 20 in what's been a surprise start to the game, it looks like the Dragons will start on the Gundagai 20. As they continue to pass it off, it gets into the hand of Philp, who takes the ball up half. It's going to be an incredible attacking set of 6. We're only seconds into the game. He passed it back on the inside of Chris Rands, who's met heavily there by the Gundagai defence, but unable to put him down. Very strong run there by Rands as they continue to attack out the right-hand side of the field. From McCrone, nice pass. Tries to pick the gap, but he's taken down just short of the line there. Great play here for the Dragons. They continue attacking the line. With McDermott, who comes out, pass it off to McCrone, quickly pass it back out to the left-hand side of the field. He manages to take these. He's taking a run for the sideline. Oh, he's pulled down just short. That was a great run there by Taylor Madden. He turns around, not much happening. A bit of miscommunication there as McCrone tackles, but he puts the ball down and looks like he's managed to draw the knock on. So great pressure and defence there from the Gundagai Tigers. So already early on in this match, we can definitely see the Dragons piling on the pressure at the Gundagai end, but the Gundagai defence not buckling so far. As they pack down the scrum, and Hay pass it back in, pass it quickly back out to Morgan to the left-hand side of the field. He's so hard to handle, Morgan. You definitely need 2 or 3 players. Get him one-on-one, and he is going to be dangerous to you every single time. As they continue to pass the ball quickly, trying to get these quick play the balls and get the Temora defence on the back foot. Gorman passed it back on the inside to KOTOILAKEBA, who's taken out easily. Well, I wouldn't say easily. He's a big boy, but stopped in the centre of the field. And they continue. Unfortunately, they've managed to draw the mistake there. I think he just took his eyes off it there, Gundagai, just for a quick second there. Managed to drop the ball, and now we've got yet another attacking opportunity here for the Temora Dragons as they'll get the scrum feed on the 40-metre line. Plenty of attacking threats pretty much across the board here for Temora. They go to Hamish Starr, has been playing some great football. And there's, of course, the halves pairing of McCrone and McDermott. As they continue pass it out to the wide, it's in the hands of Robinson, who goes down the right-hand touchline before he's met by the Gundagai defence. As they continue to pass it up to the centre of the field, he hands it off there to Philp, who's been having a hell of a season. Before it went under closed doors, I think he was second in terms of the Wiesel medal count, so he's having a heck of a season for the Dragons. McDermott takes the ball, spots half a gap in the defensive line, but it's quickly closed as he gets put down just on the 30-metre line. Let's see what they can do. A couple more tackles down here for the Dragons. They pass it into the back line. McCrone pass it back off to the Hamish Starr. But so far, this Gundagai defence very quick off their line. They're getting up in the faces of the Dragons and trying to give them as little time to breathe as possible. They continue off, throwing it back into their forwards. Dummies hands it off to White. Only making a couple of metres here. So far, not much doing here for the Dragons as they get on the 5th tackle. Let's see what they can do with the kick. Pass off McCrone, who gets it back on the inside to Starr, who runs. I'm not sure they know it's the 5th tackle. They quickly pass it out wide. It's in the hands of Taylor. He goes for the line, quickly passes it off, and he's in! And that was a great ball movement there for the Temora Dragons. Passed out wide into the hands of Braden Taylor, who then passes it off to his wing partner, Joel Kelly, and he goes over the left-hand touchline. That was a great attacking play there from the Temora Dragons. They are on the board, 4-0.
Try the Temora Dragons, scored by number 5, Joel Kelly. Conversion to come.
And Joel Kelly, certainly not a stranger to the touchline. He's gotten plenty of them so far this season. And it was really just constant pressure there from the Dragons on the Gundagai touchline. And they were doing all the damage up the centre of the field, managed to condense Gundagai's defence. And then some quick ball, they were throwing it in the centre of the field. I thought they might have absolutely stuffed it up in the end, but it was a quick ball movement out to the left-hand touchline that did all of the damage. And Hamish Starr sets the ball line about literally centimetres in for the touchline. He comes in for the kick. He puts it up. Oh, no. Just comes off the left-hand post and bounces away. So unfortunately, the conversion not successful there for Starr, but the Temora Dragons do take the lead, 4-0. Time to get the game off on the best foot here for the Tigers as Gorman puts the kick up high and very short. It's taken by Robson. Oh, there's been a clash. There's been a clash on the field between Joel Field has contacted one of the Dragons players. And he's down and managed to draw the penalty, and certainly not the start to this 36 you want. Some heavy contact there as the Dragons player just gets taken care of there. I tell you what, you can see the aggressiveness in the defence that Gundagai is doing, and is really keeping control of Temora to a certain extent, but you can't get carried away with it, otherwise it's just going to put you on the back foot like it has now. So after that penalty, they touch it and kick it off from their own 40-metre line. It gets into the hands of Tyler Madden, who takes the ball and runs it right up to the 50-metre mark, making some good metres off this. It gets into the hands of White. He managed to get the offload, offs it to Rands, who offloads it to his his forward partner in Philp. But not making too many more metres. He gets tackled just before the 40. Oh, dummy half there from Lomax. ducking left, ducking right. Cheeky little run out of dummy half there for Lomax. You're going to have to be careful of him all day as they continue to attack the right-hand side. They pass it back on the inside for Reardon. And they manage to get the offload as he continues up through the centre of the park with Philp. Some great second phase play here for the Temora Dragons. Really running the defence as Lomax comes out of dummy half again. He makes a half break. Oh, he's caught around the legs. Gets pulled down 10 metres short. As they continue in the hands of McCrone, who puts the ball up high to the right-hand side of the line. And they're up. Oh, no, just dropped it there. That was Drew Robinson went up, managed to get his hands to it, but unfortunately knocked it on. Looks like the Tigers will get the ball coming up literally centimetres off their own goal line. And so far, it's the Dragons have basically been taking care of everything so far as Navuki comes out of dummy half to try and take some pressure off. Against a quick play the ball, but the Dragons' defence is up in their faces very quickly. And so far, all the territory in favour of the Dragons as they throw it wide, get in the hands of Morgan, who takes a run, steps left, steps right, manages to verge one as he goes back inside, keeps pumping those legs. It's so hard to take down as he gets tackled on the 40. And the referee just stopping the play here as we can see the Temora Dragons still getting attended to in the backfield. So far, it's been a tough physical game from both sides. Defence really is the name of the game. Both of them getting off their lines very quickly and not leaving their opposition much room to move. And hence, we've seen a lot of ball movement and a lot of second phase play that's absolutely going to be a nightmare, especially towards the back end of this first half. And so far, the main men for the Dragons are the ones doing all the damage. I think Lomax is definitely going to be one to watch out of dummy half. I think he's come to play today. And obviously, Josh McCrone has had the ball on a string all season. He's continued to do it so far in this first half. And for the Dragons, the main guys to watch, I think Tyron Gorman, he played a hell of a game last week. And I continue to measure up with Derek Hay. Combined with Derek Hay and also obviously James Morgan, their main strike weapon, out on the right-hand touchline. And as we get back underway, they play out in the 50 as it goes back. It puts kick up there from Hay. Nice backspin kick. Nate places into the corner. Beautiful kick there. Absolutely nothing Hamish Stark could do about that one as he lets it roll over the touchline as the Dragons will get the ball back on their own 10-metre line. Great chance here for the Gundagai Tigers to put the pressure back on the Dragons and get a good defensive set of 6 here and try and keep in their own 20. As White comes up and met by the Gundagai defence, but by being driven back more to his own 10-metre line. As he plays the ball, Lomax comes out of dummy half, tries to draw the penalty. Gundagai Tigers not falling for it, manages to get it all the way up to the 10-metre line. So far in the second tackles, they pass it out wide. Two pass there to Reardon. Making some good meters out of the quick play. The Lomax comes in quick, passes it off to McCrone, throws it back on the inside to Philp. I tell you what, they're not afraid to throw the ball around the Dragons. It's been a nightmare to contain so far as they continue to attack this right-hand touchline. It gets into the hands of, that was a quick half a break there by Jimmy Stewart before he gets pulled down. And on the 5th tackle, let's see what they can do. It gets thrown into the hands of their main man, Josh McCrone. He puts the ball up high, gets thrown to the right, and Navuki takes it. Oh, I think that was knocked. Oh, no, he's told it a lost ball. I could definitely see a hand in there for one of the Temora Dragons, but obviously he's considered a loose carry. So an error there for Navuki has really put the Gundagai Tigers under a bit more pressure with the Dragons getting the scrum feed on the 10. And 10 minutes down in this first half of rugby league as they feed into the scrum, quickly passed out to Rod McCrone. Comes around to Starr, who folds back into the attack, but he gets nailed by the Gundagai defence, not falling for that one. As Stewart comes out of dummy half quickly, makes a dash for the line. Oh, but there's some good cover defence here for the Tigers. They managed to take him down. They continue to attack more towards the centre. Throws back on the inside to Rands. Nothing much doing there. They could see him coming, but so hard to put down. Again, they can't put him on his back as he plays the ball. Lomax quickly throws outside to McCrone. Quickly passes off the ball Oh, no, nice pass to Stewart there. Throws it offside to Robertson. Great cover defence here from the Tigers. Can they push him over? And they have. Some great defence there for the Tigers. I thought Robertson got shown a little bit of the try line, but the great cover defence there for the Tigers manages to hold him up, push him over the sideline. Some great defence there for the Gundagai Tigers as they see getting the ball metres out from their own touchline. And here we go. Let's see what we can do for the Tigers this time. Unfortunately, not getting the ball at best of positions, but they've certainly got the strike weapons to do it. It goes into Gorman, who steps left, steps right, but gets met by the defence and taken down on the just before the 20. Has come out of done half, quickly passes it off. He gets held up. He's going to have to be he's going to have to be careful of that sideline. And the Dragons, he quickly throws it back on the inside. Smart move because he was getting taken over quickly. And they could throw the ball wide in the hands of Gorman. He gets taken down there. Some brilliant punishing defence there for the Dragons, drawing him towards the sideline. So instead of gaining 10 metres, they've just lost 20. Now he puts his head down before getting met in the centre of the park by White. Gets taken down, makes some great metres, getting him back up to the 20. This is a great defensive set so far, the Dragons. Not giving the Gundagai Tigers any room to move so far in this set of 6. And on the 5th tackle, looks like the Gundagai Tigers will take the kick just before the 30. Oh, that wasn't needed. That was some silly play there from the Dragons, and exactly what the Tigers needed. Getting his foot caught up there with the attacker and slowing down the play of the ball, and hence draw the penalty. So Gorman takes the kick for the right-hand sideline, manages to get the ball out, so they'll get the tap on about the 45-metre line. And he taps it, throws back on the inside to Field, who puts his head down before getting taken down just past the 50. Gets the ball and throws it too wide by KOTOILAKEBA, who gets taken down by his opposite number in White, ably held out there by Tyler Madden. They continue to attack the blind side, hoping to utilise their strike weapon. They throw it out the back to Gorman, using Morgan as a bit of a dummy. But Gorman knows what's coming. He managed to go down just before the try line. Then can you throw it out to the left? And KOTOILAKEBA winds up before getting met. It's a great set of 6, and he offloads it. Oh, no, looks like that was a line ball. Referee saying he called held. So they'll bring it back to play the ball just before the 10. They continue to throw it out the left-hand side with Hay. Continue to throw it out to Gorman, who chimes into the back line. Oh, great tackle there. It was low and driving and threw him just to keep them within the 10-metre line. They continue to attack the blind side with Gorman. And looks like he's managed to draw the forward pass there. So some suffocating defence here for the Dragons. Managed to keep the Tigers at bay, and they will get the ball on their own 10-metre line. So far, the Dragons doing a lot of damage, especially their backs coming in to help. But White and Philp are getting all sorts of metres under their legs, and Lomax coming out of dummy half is putting all sorts of pressure to try and think what they're going to do. And he's made a half break there. Oh, that looks like that was Chris Rance, but a great break. Managed to get it all the way up to the 30, and coming off the back of that, it was Joel Kelly to come help out. Tries to get a quick play of the ball. Lomax again running out of dummy half, throws the ball off the inside to Star. And after a couple of great passages of play, they've made some great metres, ball getting tackled on the 50-metre line. They continue to play through the centre with Philp, who puts his head down and runs before getting taken to the centre of the park by Jack Schubert. And quickly thrown into the hands of Josh McCrone. He's been, lots of pressure getting up in his face, and he's tackled and not be able to get the kick there. So fantastic defence there from the Tigers. Getting up front and getting up quickly on McCrone, putting the pressure on so he was unable to get the kick, and a perfect attacking position here for the Tigers as they'll get play the ball on the 40. Very back and forth game so far. Both teams looking dangerous, but I tell you what, it's defence that's been the name of the game. Been quite impressive so far. And Zavuki comes off his wing to give the boys in the front a bit of a hand. He takes the ball all the way up to the 50 as Gorman comes out of dummy half. Dummy's left, dummy's right, but not falling for it as he's met by Chris Rands, but still manages to manage another 5 metres. They continue to attack the blind side as Wilson comes out of dummy half. before it gets spun around heavily by the Temora defence. Comes up a bit groggy, but Gorman throws it a dummy half, throws it off to Hay, who steps left, steps right, makes half a break. Making good metres so far in this set here, the Tigers. Let's see what they can do with it as they continue to throw it off to the blind side. SORONAKADAVU puts a kick up onto the left wing, but it's ably caught there by Robinson. He read that well, especially with the Gundagai Tigers breathing down his neck. Now they throw it back off the inside to Star. Steps left, steps right. Keeps pumping those legs before he's met in the centre of the park. They try to put him down there, Jack Schubert, but they just couldn't do it. He's got a great sense of balance. As Lomax continues to throw it off on the inside with Braden Taylor. Good run there, making some good metres on the first couple of tackles. As they continue to throw it off to their big forwards who continue to run heavily into this Gundagai attack. Great tackle there from Jake Hay. And Chris Rand's put his hands up for another run. I tell you what, he's getting a good work rate through. I think he's getting 10 metres every time he gets the ball, and it's ridiculously hard to take down Rands. And it gets off the hands of Hamish Starr. He puts a kick deep into the right-hand touchline. And it's ably taken there by Tarron MAKEHAM, who starts coming out of his own defensive line. Well, he's met heavily there by the Dragons' defence. So as we start getting to the bump and grind of things here, the Gundagai Tigers start throwing it right with Gorman. Throws a cutout pass to Morgan. They managed to get him one-on-one, but no, looks like the Dragons come in to help out. And he gets taken down by McDermott and Madden. And Gorman, who's Eddie, even if there's half a gap, he's going to try and go for it. Comes out of dummy half, but still makes a good 10 metres before being brought down just before the 40. As they continue to throw it on the inside with KOTOILAKEBA, who winds up not making too many metres, though. The Dragons getting off their defensive line very quickly. As Hay comes up, puts the kick deep in the left-hand side, manages to pick the gap between the winger. And that's a horrible bounce there for Robinson. Oh, great take. I tell you what, he has got ice in his veins. He didn't get the bounce he needed. Managed to chase after it, grabbed the ball in his left arm, spun around just as the defence got to him. Manages to break the tackle and get another 10 metres. Great play there by Drew Robinson. And it's now in the hands of Joel Kelly, who makes a great run. Manages to get a good 10 metres and keeps pumping those legs as Lomax comes out of dummy half trying to draw the penalty. Incredibly dangerous there. If you're even half asleep at the market defence, Lomax is going to make you pay so far. As they continue to attack, as they pass out to the right-hand side of the field in the hands with Philp, who gets spun around by only making another 5 metres. And there's the fifth tackle and hands it off there to Crone, who puts the keeper deep on Tarron MAKEHAM's side. As Gorman gets under it, catches the ball easily. And he managed to break one tackle before getting taken down in the legs. Some great cover defence there and great pressure there from the Dragons. As the Tigers come out of their own end, trying to make any metres they can. These are always the toughest metres you're going to make inside a game. As Navuki comes in to help out, dodges left, dodges right. Only makes a couple of metres, though, before he gets taken on the 10. As they pass it back on the inside. Tell you what, the Dragons are awake to it so far. Even the likes of Morgan makes more metres than the rest, but still gets tackled on the 30. We're heavily into the tackle count so far. They keep the ball alive. It's in the hands of Gorman. And he gets tackled by Madden, gets pulled down just before the 50-metre mark. As they continue on, they kick the ball out deep on the left-hand side. I tell you what, the kicking game has been spot on so far, but it gets into the hands of Robinson. He's got Star with him, but he's not going to need it. He takes the run himself before getting pulled down on the 15. And that's not what they needed. I tell you what, the Gundagai Tigers so far, their own worst enemy, drawing some penalties. So far, they've been doing all the hard work and getting the Dragons right where they want them, but some silly penalties starting to creep in. That's giving the Dragons all the help they need. And after a good kick there from McCrone, looks like Dragons get the tap just past the 40. As they tap it off and throw it back on the inside to their big front row of Philp, who gets low and keeps pumping those legs, managed to take it just over the 50. Tries to shrug off the Gundagai Tigers. They continue on McCrone, hands it off to Rands, hands it off to White. Not making too many more metres. Great defence there from the Tigers. And see what they can do as they get off the line nice and quick again with Lomax. Pass it off to McCrone. Manages to pick the gap, and that's a great offload there for Starr, who's running up to the right-hand side of the field. It goes to Gorman, pass it off to Robinson. Is he in? He's in! He's got it! I tell you what, that was a great break there for Billy Reardon, and great offload play and second place play, keeping it alive, putting it in the hands of Hamish Starr. He managed to draw in the full back in Gorman, and then passed it off to Drew Robinson, who managed to put the ball down to that right-hand touchline. Great try there from the Temora Dragons. And so far, you've got to say, weight of possession and territory. So far, going all the way of the Dragons, and they're certainly not making up for it as well. Really attacking heavily on those two wings with Robinson and Joel Kelly doing the damage so far. Certainly not making the kick easy for Hamish Starr, who was the one that set up that try beautifully. And he certainly didn't panic. He drew in Gorman, who had to make the decision, and he had to make the tackle. Drew in Gorman just enough, and then threw it off there to Drew Robinson. So it was a beautifully constructed try there from the Dragons. As Hamish Starr sets it up again from the similar position, this time the opposite side of the field, only centimetres in from the touch line. The last one he managed to bang off the post, so he wasn't too far off. Let's see what he can do with this one. Because in a game like this, and with an opposition like this, you're definitely going to need every point you can get your hands on. Takes a deep breath as he comes in for the kick. He puts it up. And he slots it. That is a fantastic kick there from Starr. So he adds the extra 2 points, and that takes the Temora Dragons up to 10 points to 0. And as we get the kickoff from Gorman, he kicks it deep, but he kicks it a little bit short again as it goes into the hands of Joel Kelly. He takes it easy before taking on the Gundagai defence. Not taking a backward step there. He passes it quickly off to Rands, who gets taken down. He gets bulldogged there by Benjy HANNAN, who's just come onto the field. As another quick play, the ball as it gets in the hands of White, who passes it back on the outside. Great second phase play after their quicker men in Starr. Really inserting himself into the game so far as Starr, as he's making heaps of metres here. Just cannot take him down, but after putting too much of an effort in there, they managed to draw the penalty again. I tell you what's so hard to take down as Josh McCain gets a very quick kick, and the Temora Dragons get another set of 6 here on the 35. And they quickly pass it back on the inside, ends up in the hands of Rands, who keeps pumping those legs before they manage to take him down. Not too many metres. He gets tackled on the 30. They continue to attack on the right-hand side. McCrone pass it back on the inside. Great pass it back inside to Starr. He looks for the man, pass it back off to McDermott, who dodges left and dodges right, but decides to take the tackle. He gets it all the way up to the 20. Let's see what they can do with the last couple of tackles here. The Dragons, as it gets in the hands of Starr, quickly pass it out the back. Oh, looking dangerous there, Taylor, but he ends up getting taken down. Not too many metres. They continue to attack on the right-hand side. McDermott, he dummies to one, passes it off to McCrone, quickly passes it back off to Stewart, and looks like he's dropped the ball. So great defence there, especially from SORONAKADAVU. Come up and got in the face of Stewart, manages to draw the error. So a great let-off there from Gundagai Tigers, and they'll get the ball on their own 20. As we pack down for the scrum here with Hay feeding it in, and they pass it back off the inside. It's Navuki, SORONAKADAVU, who puts his hands up as he takes the run. Good run too as he gets it all the way up to the 40-metre mark. Wilson comes out of dummy half and offloads it, but he's met ably there by Chris Rands and Lomax there for Temora. Throws it off to Gorman, who's had about his 10th or 12th run, I think, so far. He's been including himself in the attack a lot so far, Gorman. They come in a dummy half to attack as they get in the hands of Morgan, who dummies. takes the run, makes some good meters there, making 15 meters before getting tackled just on the Temora 35. Let's see what they can do with these last couple of tackles. They pass to the inside to Hay, throws it back on the inside. Oh, it's a good run here. He's made half a break. He shrugs off one, continues. He goes, he putt. Oh, no, the pass goes astray. He was looking so damaging there. Great run there from the Tigers, but with no passing the ball to absolutely no one. He didn't have any backup and gets into the hands of Star, who then counter punches and gets tackled just on the 30. There's a pass off the hands here, and it looks like it's Reardon who gets the hands. He makes a great break. He still isn't down. He's still running there, Reardon. That's a great break. And only on the second tackle, looks like Temora take the tackle on the 30, gets into the hands of Philp. Gets up ahead of steam before running. He bursts one tackle, bursts a second before he gets down on the 10. Some quick play the ball's needed here from the Dragons, and they do. Lomax comes out of dummy half. They're aware of it now. Gets in the hands of Chris Rands. Unable to do anything as he's met by this tough Gundagai defence. They're going to have to try and hold on here, Gundagai, as they continue to pass out the right-hand side of the field with McCrone. He dummies left, and he ends up taking the tackle, being pulled centimetres down from the Gundagai line. So far, they've been doing really a lot of damage. Silly play there. Again, just giving away a penalty that isn't needed and putting some defense, especially when the defense has been so good so far here, the Tigers. As it hands off to Rands, he takes a hit at the line. That's a great tackle there from the Tigers, led there by Jack Schubert. Plays the ball. Lomax comes out of dummy half, passes it off to McDermott. Steps left, steps right. But he ends up taking the tackle. He's trying to hook up there with Braden Taylor, who did so much damage for that first try. They pass it back off the inside. Gets in the hands of Maliki Morris, who's been doing well since he moved over from South Sydney this year. And looks like one of the Gundagai boys, just a little bit worse wearers, will just take a break as the trainer sees to him. So far, with only about 13 minutes to go in this Group 9 fixture, the Temora Dragons lead the Gundagai Tigers 10 points to 0. And Jack Schubert looks like he's okay. Just gets some water and a little lungful of air. And looks like Morris will play the ball about 2 metres out from the Gundagai try line. Lomax passed the ball left to McDermott. Big bypass him, ends up going into the hands of Philp. Not sure he expected that, but he put his head down to take the ball. He gets taken down 5 metres from the touchline and gets the ball out quickly. McDermott passing the centre to McCrone. Offloads it to, looks like it's Morris. Only makes a few more metres. He's driven back there by the Gundagai Tigers, put him on his back. But unfortunately, gets out of dummy half quickly there, Phil. And he's been held up. I tell you what, he got his head through there, and I thought you weren't going to stop him for all monies, but great cover defence there from the Gundagai Tigers. Managed to hold him up, so they'll take it back to the 10. Great play there from Lomax, I should say, not Philp. And Lomax has been taking those runs out of dummy half all afternoon. You have to be aware of it. Right, so in the hands of the Tigers this time as they pass it back on the inside. Oh, heavy defence there from the Dragons. I tell you what, Philp and Madden that just put their head down and drove them back. As SORONAKADAVU takes a run and then throw it back on the inside. Oh, he managed to split the defence. And looks like the Dragons coming up a bit too quickly. So a relieving penalty there for the Gundagai Tigers. As Gorman will take the kick, an easy 10 or 20 metres and get him on the front foot for this set of 6. And it's a great kick there from Gorman. Gets him over the halfway line. So a fresh set of 6 here as Morgan will take the tap on the 45. He dummies it but decides he's going to take the defence on himself. Oh! I thought that might have been a loose carry, but it looks like he's been caught for raking the ball. So back-to-back penalties here from the Gundagai Tigers. Getting all the territory and all the possession so far. They definitely need to make up for it. Definitely watch out for their main men in terms of Morgan and Gorman. They're the ones that have been doing all the damage so far as they hand it off. Oh, big hit there on Jake Hay. It looks like he's just been caught a little bit high there, Hay. And I tell you what, there's no love lost between these two teams. I tell you what, their defence has been absolutely fantastic. Definitely going wayward there. But after what was I'd say a slow start to the game, the Gundagai Tigers are getting all the possession they need down in this final 20. I think Gorman has been looking dangerous. Look for him to combine with the likes of Hay and try and open up some space to their wingers, probably Makeham or a Navuki. And after that's their third penalty in the row, they're going to have to be careful of the Dragons, because if they draw too many of this, I think Mr. Referee might sit one of them out. Okay, so it gets in the hands of Field, who just takes one look at him, lines up and takes a heavy tackle there at the centre of the field, getting put down on his back just before the 10. Gets down to quickly play the ball, comes out, throws it off on the inside. That gets in the hands of ELPHICK, who's now on the field. Only makes a couple of metres, though, getting pulled down on the 5. They quickly throw it back field, dummies, but gets in the hand of Hay. Oh, no! And after a misjudged pass there, manages to knock off one of his own players, ball coming down to the hands of the Dragons, who now come out of their own 10-metre line. I tell you what, they're not doing too many things wrong so far here, the Tigers. If they just get a couple of little mistakes out, they're going to be very dangerous so far here this afternoon. But as the Dragons come out of their own end, making all sorts of damaging runs, already getting the ball all the way up to the 30. Quickly passes, Lomax comes out of dummy half, offloads it to McCrone, who takes a run himself. Puts his head down before getting taken down on the 40. Some good metres so far, especially since they were coming out of their own 10. And Lomax dummies the pass, but ends up taking himself, passes it off to Starr. But nothing doing there as he's met the centre of the field there by Field and Madden. Driven back. Not much doing on that tackle as they play the ball again off their own 40. Now they pass it off wide. And, oh, great pass there off to Robertson, who makes a half break before he gets taken around the legs there by Navuki. Half break there. Some great attacking play from the Dragons as it gets in the hand off McCrone on the 5th. Tries to take the kick. Great pressure from there for the Tigers. Great kick pressure there from the Tigers. But McCrone not getting the kick he otherwise wanted to put off. As it in the hands of Gorman now as he takes on the line. Throws it out wide there to Morgan as he gets one-on-one with his main man. Pumps the legs and manages to get a good run, taking it all the way up to the 30. Tries to get a quick play of the ball. Gorman comes out of dummy half. Attacks it. Trying to obviously draw the penalty, but obviously didn't see it that way. But he ends up getting taken the tackle just before the 50. Throws it on the inside to Navuki, who runs across the field. Oh, no! I thought Lomax might have got that, but great job there for Navuki. Ball stripped out. He managed to get a hold of it. Not only that, but managed to get another set of 6. So far, they're getting all the ball and all the territory here. The Tigers, as they get tackled just on the 45. Pass it back on the inside to Field. It takes one of his traditional runs, hard, straight and fast, as they put him on his back just past the 40. And Hamblin comes quickly out of dummy half, throws it wide. As trying to see if there's any gaps on the right-hand side defence here for the Dragons, but not falling for it. But they do manage to get a good 10 or 12 metres playing the ball on the 25. Thrown it quickly out to the right-hand side of the field. Passes the cutout ball there to Gorham. Passes it off to Morgan. Oh, it makes half a break there, but it was brought down. Great defence there by McDermott. And Gorham gets involved. Quick throw the ball out wide there before it gets into the hands of Jared ELPHICK. And as we're on the 5th tackle, they play the ball on the 10-metre line. Let's see what they need at least a good kickoff here as he puts the kick forward, comes off the Dragons. It's picked up, he's over. I think he's done it. Great try there from the Gundagai Tigers. I tell you what, Gorman took one look, put the kick through. It ricocheted off one of the Dragons players, landed in the hands of, I think it was Field, but don't quote me on that one. And he manages to barge his way over to the left-hand side of the post, so the Gundagai Tigers are back on the board. So with only 7 minutes, I should say, to go in this first half.
To number 12, Trent SKEERS. Conversion to come.
I should say it's actually Trent SKEERS who picked up the ball and scored. So that was a fantastic try after putting just constant defense, pressure on the Dragons' defence. End up being a great kick there by Gorman. Landed in the hands of SKEERS, who still had a heap of work to do. He was dragging 2 Dragons players with him. Puts the ball over just to the right-hand side of the line. And so far, this is going to be a good kick here, about 5 metres to the left-hand side of the posts. Takes one look, he lines up for it, puts the kick up, and he's got it. He adds the extra 2 points. That's exactly what they needed. So Gundagai Tigers get back on the scoreboard. They get the conversion. And as we only got 5 minutes to go in this first half, the Temora Dragons lead the Gundagai Tigers 10 points to 6.
Now Gundagai Tigers 6, Temora Dragons 10. 5 minutes.
As Hamish Starr gets us underway, kicks it deep into the right-hand side of the field. I think that's SORONAKADAVU who takes the run up, gets 10 metres before he's met by the Temora defence, getting taken down just before the 20. Hamblin comes down to dummy half, passes it off to field. I tell you what, getting off their line nice and quick here, the Dragons, not giving the Gundagai Tigers any room to move. Still doesn't stop field because he still makes a good 2 or 3 post-contact metres. It just shows how much he means to this forward pack especially. As they start to try and get some quick play, the ball gets in the hands of Gorman. Puts the ball out in front of him, but ends up taking the run himself. But they still can't put him down. Finally managed to get him onto his back as he gets tackled on the 40. Some pressure on the back of the neck there. I think they were lucky not to get a penalty on that one. It gets in the hands of Benjy HANNAN, who takes the run, getting tackled just before the 50. Gets off the hands, and they put the kick up here. And it's a short kick. Unfortunately, I think not the kick they needed, but I think that's all Morgan could really do because it was almost out on the full. He jumps up, tries to bat it on the inside. Could have been worse, but definitely not the kick they need on the 5th tackle there for the Tigers. Right, as the Dragons get it underway, gets in the hands of White, who keeps pumping those legs and getting away all the way up to the 40-metre line. Lomax passes it off to McCrone, throws it back on the inside. I'll tell you what, great running here from these Temora forwards. They're just so hard to take down. He gets tackled, making another 5 post-contact metres, getting tackled just before the 50. As they continue to throw it at the centre with White. Oh, sorry, I should say that's Zach Starr. Great run as he gets tackled on the halfway line. Good defence here from the Tigers, really limited in the amount of metres they're getting here for the Dragons. As McCrone takes the run himself. So far, it's just a standard set of 6. Just happy with 1 and 2 hit-outs. It gets in the hands of Philp, who takes a big run. Manages to brush off one. He gets a half break. And he passes off one. Manages to get the pass off. I tell you what, just to think there wasn't much happening. It was a tackle break there by Philp. It gets him on the front light foot as they take the tackle on the 10. Maliki Morris takes it up before passing it off. He gets taken down just before the try line. Not the end of that set of 6 they would have liked, the Dragons, but if you've got to hand the ball off, there's no better place than 1 metre out from your opponent's touchline. As SORONAKADAVU puts his hand up to take some of the tough metres out of his own end. Manages to get it all the way up to the 10. They can continue pass it off to the centre. And this is Morgan, puts his hands up. I tell you what, so hard to take down. But not making too many more metres. There we go, and he managed to draw the penalty. He's tried to get up quickly to get a quick play of the ball, but it was unable to do so. Draws a great penalty there for the Gundagai Tigers. As Gorman takes a kick. And easy metres there on the penalty. It looks like the Tigers will get a fresh set of 6 with Morris taking the tap on their own 40. Hands it off on the back on the inside to JK. And he gets taken down just on the 50. And Morgan throws it back in the inside to Hay, who offloads it to Hannan. I tell you what, they're up in the face quickly, the Dragons, not making any metres, getting tackled down. No metres, he gets, plays the ball on the 50, throws it quickly back on the inside. And that was a great run. He managed to roll over, not tackled, before the cover defence comes across, and the Dragons being taken down by Philp. Hamblin comes out quickly, throws it off to Hay. Makes it quick, he makes a half break. Oh, that was a great run there from Hay. Gets the quick play the ball as well. Oh, unlucky not to get the penalty there, but it gets in the road, and Gorman throws the kick. Robinson takes the ball, it comes off. Oh, just a bit too long. But no, he looks like he's going to go back to a knock-on here, I think, from the Dragons by Robinson. Some great attacking football, and it again came off the back of a great kick there from Tyron GORMAN. As they put down for the scrum here, the Gundagai Tigers looking to go back-to-back here as they get the scrum on the 10-metre line. Only 45 seconds to go in the first half, and there's nothing the Tigers would like better than to get another try on the board. And time back on as SORONAKADAVU throws it back into the scrum, pass it wide to Gorman. Dummies left, dummies right, throws a cutout pass to Morgan, and he throws it at the outside to Navuki. He's looking at the touchline, he's over! Oh, I thought he was covered for all money there. He had three of the Temora guys over there, but he just put his head low, drove with the legs, and he is over. So just some quick ball movement. I think Morgan drew it into the line to drew some defenders, threw it out wide there to Navuki, who just put his head down, and it was nothing but brute strength and determination that got him there, and he puts the ball down to score the try for the Gundagai Tigers in the right-hand touchline. That was a fantastic piece of play, and as we just see the bell sound indicating the end of the first half, so far it's 10 points all, the Gundagai Tigers and the Temora Dragons, and we'll see Wilson set the ball up here about 2 foot in from the right-hand touchline. No pressure here, but if he gets this kick, they go into the break, 2 points up. And this game showing exactly why these two sides are in the top 5 this year. Just when you think one side is out, they come roaring back into contention. You hear a pin drop as he comes up. He strikes it. Oh, and he waves it just away to the left. So unfortunately missing the conversion there was Corey Wilson. But as he misses that, as we go into the halftime break, 10 points all. You cannot separate these two sides. And as they go into the break here on All In Sports, thanks again for joining us, and we'll be back soon with the second half. And welcome back to All In Sports as we come to you live here from Anzac Park. And it's a fantastic clash here taking place between the Gundagai Tigers and the Temora Dragons. Obviously, the Dragons wanting to avenge their round 4 defeat at the hands of the Gundagai Tigers, and the Gundagai Tigers want to maintain what has been a dominant run so far here at Anzac Park. So after the first half, it is 10 points all between the Dragons and the Tigers. You cannot split the two, and it's going to be a fantastic second half. As Hamish Starr sets the ball here for kickoff. And he puts the ball kick and high as it's taken by SORONAKADAVU. Hands it off. Oh, he's met heavily in defence there. That was Jared ELPHICK. And it was great tackle there from Jimmy Stewart. As SORONAKADAVU comes quickly out, hands it to Trent SKEERS. Makes some good meters, ball getting tackled just before the 25. Making some good meters so far. Here as he heads off to Joel Field, takes one of his traditional runs as he gets met by 3 of the Temora guys before they put him onto his back. Great run as he gets them all up to just before the 40. Back off to SORONAKADAVU. So strong in terms of his runs. He's definitely going to be more of a running 5'8" so far in this game. As Hamblin comes quickly out of dummy half, throws it back off to Field. It takes a second and manages to get the offload. Gets in the hands of Hannan. Not sure he was expecting it, but the Dragons were awake to it as he gets tackled just past the 50. They continue to attack the right-hand side line as the ball gets kicked up high. I tell you what, oh, that is a great take there by Starr. He was backtracking, but didn't take his eyes off the ball. Takes it easy before coming out of his own end before he gets met by the Tigers and taken down there by Hannan. As they continue to come off their own line, they put their head down. The Dragons not making too many meters before they get driven back here by some tough Gundagai defence. That was a great tackle there by ELPHICK. As their forwards start coming into the picture, that was White managing to pump the legs, ball driving the ball all the way up to the 30. Take it quickly, throw it back off the inside. But I tell you what, this is a great defensive set here for the Tigers. They've really come out strong here in this second half. It looks like we've managed to put the ball down. So after some great defence here from the Tigers, they managed to get the ball back, and now they are attacking on the 20. It gets in the hands of Field, puts his head down, takes a great run, and he makes another couple of meters, ball getting dumped onto his knees. Quick play, the ball gets into Hamblin, throws it out the wide side to Hay, draws it, passes off to Gorman, throws it out the inside to Morgan. Oh, great tackle around the legs. Copybook tackle there from the Dragons. They continue to throw the ball, gets into the hands of... Oh, another heavy hit. I tell you what, you're going to have to buy some shares in AIS after this game because they're going to be some sore bodies. As they continue to attack the try line with Hay, dummies, nothing much doing that. He gets held up and leers centimetres from the line. Let's see what they can do here, the Tigers. They continue throwing off the centre, gets in the hands of Gorman, quickly offloads it to Hay. Pass off to SORONAKADAVU. Dummies ends up taking the ball himself. Dragons are aware of it as they manage to take him down on the 10-metre line. As we get to the 5th tackle, let's see what they can do here as they continue to attack the blind side. Hay puts a dummy kick through. He's aiming for it. I think he's got it. Fantastic kick there from Hay as he was aiming for... No, it's gone too long. Oh, he knocked it on. Looks like he's knocked it on, and so that was almost a great try there from the Tigers, I should say. But the Dragons now with a 7-tackle set out of their own end, and they're certainly making up for lost time as they already take the first tackle here in the 40. Continue throwing it off to their forwards in the centre of the park. Gets in the hands of White. Keeps pumping the legs as he takes them all the way up to the 50, making so far some good meters here. Lomax comes out, throws it off to McDermott. Oh, sorry, no, I think that's Maliki Morris, I should say. Makes another good 10 metres. As they continue this down the blind side of the Crone, throws it off to Starr. Cut out pass there. Oh, no, unfortunately, just couldn't got his hands to it. Oh, no, he hasn't called it. That was a knock-on for all money there from Robinson, but it hasn't been called, and so the Dragons continue to attack the Gundagai line. That's a big surprise there. Let's see if it has any repercussions here so far for the Tigers. As the Dragons play the ball in the 20, throw it here from McCrone. Offloads as he puts the kick down here in the line. And they're shadowing the ball. Oh, that was very close there. I tell you what, ice in his veins there, SORONAKADAVU, because Robertson was coming up quickly on the line. But it just bounced a little bit too far. So 7 tackles set here for the Tigers. Gorman takes the tap, throws it off to Navuki. Puts his head down, ends up getting a good run before getting taken down by White in the centre of the... Sorry, I should say by Zach Starr in the centre of the field. And they pass it off again to Morgan, who comes out, always makes an easy 10 metres when he gets hold of the ball, getting taken down just before the 40. Tries to get the quick play the ball. And he's managed to draw the penalty. Sometimes the football gods tend to even this thing up after missing the, what was a certain knock on early. They managed to get the penalty here. So Gorman takes the kick for touch, gets an easy 10 metres. As they tap it and throws it back off on the inside here to Skeers. Takes a great run before getting tackled on the just before the 40. Hamblin comes out of dummy half, passes it off to Jared ELPHICK, brings himself into the game, not making too many metres. The Dragons getting off their defensive line very quickly, trying to cut down the time that the Tigers have. Nice little settler as he comes back through the centre of the field, gets a quick play the ball, hands it off to Field, throws it off to Gorman, cut out pass there, gets in the hands of Matter. He managed to offload it to Gorman again. Some great second place play here for the Tigers. Getting it all the way up to the 20. He tries to get the play the ball, a Dragon hanging off his back, hands it off to Hay, who passes off the ball. Great tackle around the legs there from McDermott. As they continue to tackle the blind side here, Hay puts a kick up the right-hand side, aiming for Navuki. Oh, great tackle as he managed to stay in. He has. I tell you what, and Stark quickly comes out of dummy half. He just flirts with the touchline, but he has the strength to stay in. He gets it all the way up to the 20-metre line. I tell you what, that was a great take out of that right-hand side wing there by Joel Kelly. I thought he might have been pushed back into his in goal, but manages to stay in the play as the Dragons now come out of their own end. Crucial here for the Tigers to try and put up a great defensive set here to keep the Dragons in their own end and keep winning this territory battle. And it looks like the Dragons keep the ball alive as they pass it back out to the left. It gets into the hands of Billy Reardon, but doesn't make too many more metres. Still gets tackled on the 30. Not too many metres in this set of 6 here for the Dragons as Starr puts the ball up high. And Navuki makes no mistake of it. He comes across the field. Oh, loses his balance before getting knocked onto his back. But they will get the play the ball just before the 50. Gorman comes out of dummy half, passes left. He comes left, I should say, but gets met by the Dragons defence before getting taken down on the 40. I tell you what, only the second tackle, and they're making some good metres here so far, the Tigers. I think Gorman here has a little bit of pressure on his head, possibly advocating for a crusher tackle here, but so far the referee didn't see anything into it as he gets just seen by the trainers. And what's been an enthralling game of Group 9 Rugby League so far as we're 8 minutes down here into this second half. It's the Temora Dragons and the Gundagai Tigers, 10 points all. It looks like he's got some lung into his air and a bit of water, so Gorman will just set the play up and he'll play the ball on the 40-metre line. Goes to Hamblin, quickly pass out to right to Hay, who offloads it to Reardon. Takes a good quick run, only makes another 5 or 6 metres before getting played just before the 30. And continue to attack down to the centre of the park. Hay goes deep into the line, pass off to Gorman, cut-off pass on this right-hand side. And that was a good run there by Wilson, but he gets taken down just before the 10. They quickly pass it all the way back the other side of the field. Oh, yeah, I thought he got his hand to that. Looks like Jake Hay, I should say, put his hand up to try and rail the ball in. Couldn't get it to it in time. Managed just to get the knock on. So a let off there for the Dragons, and they'll get the scrum feed in their own 20. So far, the Gundagai defence on that last set of 6 was fantastic, keeping the Dragons in their own 30. Let's see what they can do this time as the Dragons come out of their own end. They get to play the ball in the 30. Quick play the ball again as they take it up through the centre, making some good metres. He gets tackled just before the 40. And Lomax comes out quickly, passes it off to McDermott, throws it back on the inside. Not making too many more. Oh, great second phase play. He gets the offload as they continue to attack it down the left-hand side of the field. Keeps pumping his legs, boy. He gets taken down with the Gundagai defence. No, not held. He gets back up again, but tackled around the legs there. Great tackle by Morgan as they continue to spread the ball wide with McCrone back on the inside to Morris. And after a great attacking set of play, they've got to play the ball here at the 20. They continue out to this right. No, they've switched the ball. Pass it back from Phil to McDermott, offline. And it's in the hands of Madden. Left to right play here from the Dragons, keeping everyone guessing here, especially the Tigers. On the fifth tackle as they put the ball up high to this right-hand side of the field. And you can see Taylor coming through. He's got it! He jumps high over the... That was fantastic chase there from Stewart. Oh, wow, great kick. He went up, took the ball over the mark, and then puts the ball down just the right-hand side of the post. Great kick and especially great chase there from Stewart. And the Dragons are in as they take the lead, 14 points to 10.
Try to Temora Dragons, scored by number 4, James Stewart, conversion to come.
And so far in this game, both sides really showing what they can do with ball in hand. And if you have just too many sets of 6 in the attacking portion of the field, you can see what sort of damage they can do. And so far, it's the kicking game from both. I think from the Tigers, it's been the kicking game of Tyron GORMAN has been doing all the damage. But then Temora coming right back off a good kick and an especially good chase and take there by Jimmy Stewart, soaring high over the pack to score for the Dragons. And so far, a great position here for the conversion here from Star. Let's see if he can get the extra 2. He lines it up and makes no mistake of it, right over the black dot. Gets the extra 2 points there for the Dragons, I should say. And that takes them to a 16 points to 10 lead over the Gundagai Tigers.
Conversion successful by number 1, Hamish Star. These are scores Gundagai Tigers 10. Temora Dragons 16. Plenty of time left on the clock.
It's been a seesawing game for both sides. So as JK takes the kickoff, keeps it deep onto the left-hand side of the field and bring it out the side. Oh, running hard there. Great run there from the Dragons, getting it all the way up to the 20. Quick play the ball as well as they throw it back off the inside to Billy Reardon before he gets driven back. Great tackle there, especially around the midsection there by Hamblin as Lomax quickly throws it back off the inside. I tell you what, they're trying to make some meters here, the Dragons, but the Gundagai Tigers getting off the defensive line quickly and just driving them back every single time. Great defensive effort here from the Tigers so far. Not much here doing for the Dragons. The Star puts the kick up deep into the right-hand side of the field, manages to pick the gap. Oh, that's a horrible bounce. But Gorman manages to leave it and just lets it bounce over the side. So it looks like the Tigers will get the play the ball just past the 20-metre line. I tell you what, it was a great kick there by Star, but unfortunately the chasers just weren't where they needed to be. As the Tigers play, Hamblin passes it back off. And it looks like that's Tarron MAKEHAM coming in to help out his forwards. Manages to get it all the way just past the 30. Hamblin quickly dummies left, goes right, gets into the hand of Gorman, who takes his hand for another run. Good meters so far early on in the set here as he won't go down. Manages to get the pass off again to Hamblin, who takes another easy 10 metres before getting met by the defence again and getting taken just before the 50-metre line. Some great meters in the second phase play, really opening up the attack here for the Tigers. And looks like he gets handed off here to Rakuma, who's on the field now. Takes a good run for being tackled just before the 40. They pass it back off the inside to Field, who's making all sorts of meters so far here this afternoon for the Tigers. He gets met here by Josh McCrone, but just cannot put the big fella on the back. Hamblin comes out and passes it off to Gorman. Quickly passes it off. Great ball. It's apart from the inside. And he passes the ball off here to Hamblin. And done. They're in. Oh, great attacking piece of play there for the Gundagai Tigers. And it all came off the back of a quick play. The ball there from Gorman comes out of dummy half. Manages to pick the pass off here to Wilson, who picked the gap. And obviously it was Hamblin backing up Wilson and puts the ball down just to the left-hand side of the post. So the Tigers get back into it, and they get one try back. But then so far with the kick to come, it's the Temora Dragons leading the Gundagai Tigers 16 points to 4. You can see early on in that set of 6, it was the second phase play there from the Gundagai Tigers that was doing all sorts of damage. They made a heap of metres up the centre of the park, and then seeing the defensive lapse on this left-hand side here from the Dragons, I think Wilson took every advantage, just strolled straight through, passes it off to Hamblin, who scores just the left-hand side of the post. That was a fantastically constructed try there from the Tigers. As Corey Wilson sets the ball up, greater position for the kick here, just a couple of metres to the left-hand side of the posts. He takes the run up and makes no mistake of it, right over the black dot. So as he gets the conversion there for the Tigers, once again they draw level with the Temora Dragons, 16 points all.
25 minutes to play, scores are level 16 apiece.
Fantastic game of Group 9 Rugby League here. Both sides showing how much they want this win. And remember, the Challenge Cup is up for grabs, so whoever wins this wins the cup and a possible chance at winning the $5,000 at the end of the year. Oh, great run there by Navuki. Certainly not afraid to take... that was Rakuma. Not afraid to take on the defence there as he gets hit hard, gets in the hands of field. Only able to make a couple of metres before he gets met in defence there. Great tackle by Tyron MAKEHAM for the Dragons. Hamblin comes out, pass off the lead to Gorman, gets quickly out, takes another 10 metres, breaks one tackle before he gets taken by White, but he keeps pumping the legs and gets the ball all the way up to the 40. And he gets dumped on his back. I thought that could have been drawing the penalty there, but he said no as he gets on the hands off to Morgan. Steps left, steps right, keeps pumping the legs, gets another easy 10 metres through the centre of the field before being taken down by White. Hamblin passes it back off the inside to Benjy HANNAN, who gets hit hard but bounces out of it and keeps running. Oh, makes a half break. Some great metres here off the back of a try here for the Tigers as they continue to attack the right-hand side of the field as Reardon puts a kick up on the right-hand side. It's getting chased. Oh, Star goes up and makes no mistake of it. All sorts of pressure from the Gundagai defence there. But Star takes it as they try and come out of their own end here, the Dragons. I tell you what, the Tigers will be desperate not to let them out of their own 20. As Lomax tries to come out, but doesn't make too many metres. They continue to throw it out wide. Oh, no, he's managed to break the tackle. He's come back on the inside. Oh, but ends up getting tackled on the 20. The Dragons showing they're not afraid to throw the ball around at all as well. But so far, not too many metres. They get towards the back end of this set of 6 as they play the ball on the 30. They continue to throw it up through the centre of the field. Just one out run so far here. Nothing fancy here from the Dragons. And that's the 5th tackle as it throws off to McCrone, who puts the kick. And it's charged down. That's a great charge down there by Trent SKEERS. Oh, great cover defence as the Dragons manage to get back. I'll tell you what. Oh. Wow. I tell you what, in a topsy-turvy game, you just cannot tell what is going to happen next. And the Dragons drawing the penalty on offense, which doesn't happen all that often. And the Gundagai Tigers now in the key position here, only about 30 metres out, to see if they can try and take the lead. And JK takes the kick on the right-hand side of the field. And looks like they'll tap the ball here on the 10. Let's see what they can do, the Tigers. Morgan takes the tap, throws it back on the inside to Schubert, who dives hard for the line, comes down a metre short, getting tackled by White as they continue out to the left-hand side of the field with Hay. Throws it back on the inside to Hannan, who runs hard. It takes a look at the line, bounces off one, but he's finally taken down centimetres short here by the Dragons' defence. They continue to attack out the left-hand side. Hay manages to dodge his ref, goes himself. No, he gets tackled down as well, driven back again by this determined Dragons defence. He comes out of dummy half. Oh, he was so close there, but just held up. That was a great dummy half run there. You just see half a gap opened up. I thought he managed to drive over, but they managed to get underneath him to hold him off. So they'll go back to the 10, continue to attack out the left here with Hay, who throws a cut-up pass to Gorman. Oh, they can see exactly where that was going to go. Read that beautifully by the defence as they wrap him up and push him back to the 20. Hamblin comes out quickly, throws it off to Hay, throws a kick. Oh, and it's taken beautifully there by Robinson. Just a little bit too far there from Derek Hay. And looks like it'll be a 7-tackle set here as Robinson comes on, takes the tap, comes off his own end, manages to get it all the way up to the 30 by being put down by Gundagai. Getting quick play the balls here so far as they continue to run it up through the centre of the park with Stewart. So far making some good meters here off this 7-tackle set as Reardon comes in to help out his guys. There you go, McCrone back on the inside. He decides to take the run himself before he gets met by Field. Not too many meters though. Defence from Gundagai is solid, coming up quickly to try and cut off their attack. Nothing fancy so far here from the Dragons, just doing one out running as Chris Rands comes in to take another run. As they continue to attack the blind side, throws quickly through McDermott. Dummy's left, Dummy's right. He manages to break one tackle. Oh no, looks like the cover tackles there from Gundagai come to take him down. Now it's in the hands of Starr. He puts a high kick and is getting chased on this left-hand side here. Oh, he's done it! That's 2 times in a row! Jimmy Stewart, I tell you what, like a thief in the night. He came through, just pickpocketed the poor old Gundagai defence and then just ran it straight over for his second try of the match. Great try again there from the Dragons.
Try, the Temora Dragons, scored by number 4. It's James Stewart, that's his second try. Conversion to come.
I tell you what, the combination that's coming out so far in this game between Starr and Stewart, Stewart's turning out to be the best thief in the game. I think that's the second kick they've put up for his side of the field. He's gone through absolutely no fear whatsoever, just decided the ball is mine, rips it out of the guy's hands, and then puts the ball over to the right-hand side of the posts. So as 20 minutes down in this final half of football here in Group 9, it's the Temora Dragons once again taking the lead 20 points to 16 with the kick to come from Hamish Starr. And as we quickly update the other game happening this afternoon in Group 9 at Alfred Oval in Young, it's the Young Cherry Pickers leading Wagga Brothers 36 points to 0. Starr takes one look at it, lines it up, and makes no mistake of it whatsoever. Puts it right between the posts to get the extra 2 points. And after a great piece of football there from Jimmy Stewart, the Dragons take the lead over the Gundagai Tigers, 22 points to 16. And if you can think which way this football game is going this afternoon, you're a better man than I, because they've got more twists and turns than a highway. As JK takes the kick off again, kicks it deep off the left-hand side of the field. Beautiful catch there from Stewart. Horrible pass, though, as it gets in the hands of McCrone. They pass it back on the inside to, I think it's Lomax, who ends up getting down low, but only makes it to the 10-metre line. Tell you what, Stewart almost made a meal of it there. That was a horrible pass, but the Dragons making the best of it. Gundagai getting off their line quickly to try and cut off this Dragons attack and put the pressure on them. Another offload there as they continue this second phase play here for the Dragons. Only makes another 10 metres before getting taken down to the 20. They continued off the left-hand side, the right-hand side of the field, I should say. Not making too many metres so far off this 36. Good defence here from the Tigers. Big don't argue for the Dragons, and he gets pushed back there by Schubert. And looks like Starr gets a kick, puts it low and wide to the left-hand side of the field here. And it gets picked up easily there by Makeham. Doesn't make too many metres before he gets met by Jimmy Stewart. He gets tackled there on the 20. Morgan pass on the inside to Navuki. He's been good coming out his own end, Navuki. Manages to get another tough 10 metres before they get to play the ball in the 30. Offloads it again, puts it into the hands of Wilson. The back three so far for the Tigers doing all the damage out of dummy half. I thought the markers might have been a little offside there, but not seeing it, and they've managed to get the mistake there from Gorman. So perfect attacking position here for the Dragons. See if they back it up with another try. And looks like the Dragons tackled in the inside of the field. Great tackle there by Schubert. As they come out left here, McCrone passes it off here to Reardon. And the Gundagai defence closes shut as they continue to attack the blind side. No, they switch the pass, go back, throw it back on the inside to Chris Rands. Makes a good 5 or 10 metres before getting taken down just before the 10. Only 10 metres to go here. Let's see what the Dragons can do. They continue to pass it out to the left in the hands of McDermott. Passes it off, but the Tigers well aware of it. They put him down, only making a couple of metres. Madden plays the ball as they continue out to the right-hand side of the field here. Gets in the hands, passes it off to Reardon. And as we get to the fifth table, let's see what they can do on the kick. And Lomax comes out of dummy half quickly. He tries to offload it, but unfortunately it goes to ground. I tell you what, it was a good read there from Lomax. He spotted a gap in the defence and went for it, but unfortunately no one with him. He tries to offload it and then made the mistake. And looks like James Morgan comes out of his own end. I tell you what, he makes 10 or 15 metres every time he gets a hold of the ball, and those are very precious metres when you're coming out of your own 10. And Navuki comes in to help him out, bounces off one, bounces off two, only makes another 3 or 4 metres as they continue to attack on this left-hand side of the field. Making some good metres. Oh, makes a half break, but interesting. Looks like he's pinged in for getting. So afterwards, Trent Skeers made a great run down this left-hand side of the field. Tried to get a quick play of the ball. Dragons wouldn't let him, and that drew the penalty. So Gorman will take the kick here and get probably an easy 10 metres, with the Gundagai getting a fresh set of 6 here on the halfway mark. And Wilson takes the tackle, runs back on the inside of the field, gets it all the way up to just before the 40 before getting tackled. Tries to get the quick play of the ball, can't really do it, gets slowed up a little bit there. And that's Rakuma putting his hands up, only making another 5 metres. Some good defence so far here from the Dragons. Let's see if they can hold the Tigers out. Gorman chimes into the back line, throws the pass off, tries to pick the gap, but unable to do so as they get another easy 10 metres, getting tackled on the 20. Getting so close here, the Tigers, as they throw it back on the inside to ELPHICK. I tell you what, only 10 metres to go, but it seems like an eternity so far. They continue to attack on the left. And Hayes steps off the left. Oh, gets pulled down centimetres short. Great cover tackle there by Rands. And manages to draw the penalty as well. I tell you what, I think he'd be lucky not to be leaving here there, because with imperfect attacking position, trying to get a quick play of the ball. Any other time he could have been sent for 10 there, but the referee has decided against it. But as we're getting dangerously close to the back end of that set of 6, looks like Gundagai get the penalty. And they'll get a fresh set of 6 here on the 10-metre mark. He taps the ball, throws it back on the inside to Hannan. Throws quickly, bounces off 1, bounces off 2. Gets down low, but gets held up just over the try line there by the Dragons. Good run there from Hannan as he continues to throws it off the right-hand side of the field. Hay offloads it, throws it to Schubert. Offloads 1 around the legs, offloads 2, keeps driving those legs, but gets taken down there by the Dragons. Desperate defence here by the Dragons, keeping the Tigers out. And KOTOILAKEBA bounces off 1, bounces off 2. Oh, half. He's over the line, but I think he's been held up. Oh, some tough runs here by the Tigers. They're throwing everything and the kitchen sink here at this Dragons defence, but the Dragons getting under them and keeping them out. As we get into the final 13 minutes of this game, so far it's the Temora Dragons leading the Gundagai Tigers 22 points to 16. As we just wait here as one of the Dragons gets attended to by one of the trainers. Doing some tough stuff here in defence here, the Dragons. And so far, some very smart passes here, especially by Derek Hay. They're picking the gaps really well for their forwards and making half breaks, but just haven't been able to get across here for the try just yet. Let's see what they can do at the back end of this set of 6. So far, the last couple of tries here to the Tigers, they really started doing a lot of damage up the centre of the park, managed to condense the Temora Dragons' defence, then threw it quickly wide and scoring tries with the likes of Corey Wilson. So it'll be interesting to see if they continue to do that in the back end of this 6. Okay, and he's up and walking around. So the trainer's done his job as we get things underway here again here at Anzac Park. KOTOILAKEBA plays the ball, passes it off to Hay, throws it back on the inside. Just a quick one-out run to set up the play here for the Tigers. Let's see what they can do. Hamblin comes out of dummy half quickly, throws it back on the inside to Hay. Hay takes a one look at the line, steps on the inside, goes himself. Oh, great cover defense there from the Dragons. Hay's been looking dangerous. That's the second time he's been pulled up just short of the line. Hamblin comes quickly, passes out to the right-hand side of the field. Oh, I think he's in. Oh, that was a ricochet there out the right-hand side of the field. Comes off the Dragons, ends up in the hands of Navuki, and I think he scored. Oh, fantastic kick. It didn't get there exactly the way he wanted it to, but they'll take it nonetheless. It was a kick ricocheted off one of the Dragons, ended up in the hands of Navuki, and he makes no mistake of it putting down to the right-hand side, so the Gundagai Tigers are back in this. I tell you what, you can't separate these two teams with a stick of dynamite this afternoon. They've both been playing some fantastic football. And so far, with it getting down to almost the final 11 minutes of this match, we'll see Corey Wilson take the kick about a metre in from the right-hand touchline. If he kicks this, it evens it up, 22 all. Wilson just takes a look up at the goal, takes a deep breath, comes in for the kick, he puts it up, and no, he's just waved it away to the left-hand side of the post. So unfortunately, looks like Corey Wilson missing the conversion there. So the Temora Dragons continue to maintain a 2-point lead over the Gundagai Tigers, 22 points to 20. As Starr takes the kick and kicks it deep into the center. Oh, it drops a little bit short, but it's a kind bounce there for Morgan, who passes it up back on the inside to KOTOILAKEBA. He's met heavily in defence there by White and Rands before put onto his back just on the 20. Wants to try and get a quick play. Hamblin comes out of dummy half, passes it back on the short side. Only makes a good 5 metres. The Dragons' defence comes quickly off their own line, passes it quickly back on the inside. KOTOILAKEBA takes another hard run. Gets tackled around the legs there by Rands, brought tackled just on the 35. Hamblin passes it back on the inside, and it looks like that's Hay. He managed to put in the early kick. Oh, it was a good kick, but ends up in the hands of Hamish Starr, who makes no mistake of it before getting tackled there on the 30. That was an interesting early kick and intelligent kick too, because he wants to run around some of these big forwards for the Dragons, as you see them slowly make their way back into their own end. Really playing on the front foot so far here, the Tigers, as the Dragons come out of their own end. Not making too many metres. They take their third tackle there on the 40. Another quick play, the ball up the centre of the park. Great run here from Robinson, I think that is, who gets tackled just past the 50. Hannan getting caught up there, but no, they managed to get it as Star puts a kick up the right-hand side to Navuki, and he makes no mistake of it. I think a bit of a wasted opportunity on that fifth tackle set. There was absolutely no pressure there on Navuki. I think the kick needed to be a lot deeper there for the Dragons, but it gives the Gundagai Tigers exactly the opportunity they need as Gorman plays the ball, comes out, passes it back on the inside to SORONAKADAVU. To Morgan, I think that is, who takes the ball, gets tackled just on the halfway line, making some great meters. And they continue to pass the ball in the centre of the field. Hay offloads it to KOTOILAKEBA. So hard to tackle. He is a big boy as he gets tackled just on the 40-metre mark, makes an easy 10 metres. Hamblin continues the attack, passes it off to Hay, who takes on the defence before he gets met solidly there by a heavy hit by the Dragons. As they continue to attack on the right, Hay puts a kick high. I think it might be a bit too deep, and it is. Not the kick you needed there from the Tigers. They needed to either drop it short and probably put more pressure here on the Dragons, but as it is, Hamish Stark comes out of his own end with a 7-tackle set. As we come down to the final 8 minutes, all the pressure here so far on the Tigers, and the Temora Dragons leading 22 points. And you know, they picked up a mistake. Wow, and another twist and turn in what has been a fascinating game of Group 9 Rugby League here this afternoon. So it looks like the Gundagai Tigers will get their chance to take the lead as they get the scrum feed on the 20-metre mark. They are so hard to play in their own patch of field here at Anzac Park, and they're showing us exactly here why in the last 8 minutes. Gets in the hands of Gorman, dummies. Ball gets met by the defence. He's been chiming into the back line a lot so far this afternoon, Gorman. I think they're starting to read at the Dragons. They continue to throw it out, gets into the hands of Hannan, who gets hit heavily, but manages to spin out of the tackle of Hayden Philp before he gets tackled there by White. Not too many more metres. They play the ball in the 20, throws it back in the inside to Hay. Cut out pass there to Gorman. He throws a good pass in the inside there for Schubert. Oh, he picked the gap beautifully. Great tackle around the legs. Tries to get a quick play the ball as he goes for the line. Oh, great scrambling defence there, especially from McDermott. He manages to pull him down just centimetres from the line. Gundagai Tigers doing everything they can to try and win this game as he comes out of dummy half, throws it to the right-hand side of the field. Oh, great cover tackle here. And on the fifth tackle, let's see what the Tigers can do. Throws it off from the inside. He puts a kick, grubber kick into their own in goal. It's taken beautifully by the Dragons. And he manages to just get into the field of play. And he comes out of the dummy half quickly, makes an easy 10 metres before down heavily on his back by the Tigers. Certainly not afraid to let them know they're still here as Lomax comes out of dummy half to try and make a few easy metres. Only makes 5, but he gets tackled just before the 20. Making too many metres so far here, the Dragons. Great defensive set here from the Tigers as they're piling on the pressure to try and get the ball back. Another dummy half run before he gets taken down on the left-hand field by Gorman and Makeham. As the kick gets put up deep. Easily taken there by Wilson, and he comes back quickly. Dummies it to Navuki, but takes it himself as he tacks down the right-hand side of the line. Oh, gets it all the way up to 40. Great return kick there from Wilson as they continue to drive into the sideline. No, he managed to take the tackle, throws in the inside to Navuki. He runs hard and straight before he gets tackled in the centre of the park there by Lomax and Philp. Second tackle here as they play the ball just their side of the 50. Throws it off to Hay, throws it off the inside to KOTOILAKEBA. Oh, great tackle round the legs there by Morris. Not many metres, still get tackled on the 50. They throw off the inside to Field as their main man in the forwards. He's made 10 metres every time he gets the ball so far this afternoon, Field, and they certainly need it at the moment. So you get a quick play. Hamblin comes out of the dummy half quickly. Oh, makes a half break. They're trying to get a quick play the ball. Gorman comes, throws it off to Hay. He puts a kick up on the right-hand side. He's trying to target Makeham. Oh, great take there by Starr. Flew high above the pack. All the pressure there from Wilson as they continue to come off their own line here, the Dragons. The Gundagai throwing everything and the kitchen sink at this, trying to get back in this game. Only 2 points of difference between these two sides as we get into the final 4 minutes. Dragons leading 22 points to 20 as they come out of their own end. Hamish Starr takes the run before getting driven back. Not too many metres here Looks like they're stuck their side of the 30. Looks like Trent SKEERS just legs getting caught in the legs of Star. It looks like that's time back on as they throw it back. Just clear one out running here for the Dragons. They just don't want to make any mistakes as we get into this final 4 minutes. And they throw the ball wide. Try to get a good kick, especially needed here. Comes up a little short, goes right down the throat of Navuki, who brings it back hard. A little hop, step, skip and a jump, and he heads straight long into the defence, making a good 15 metres off the kick return, getting it to just their side of the 50, throws to the back inside to Makeham, who gets down low, makes another 10 as they cross the 50 on the second tackle. Great metres so far. Hamblin comes out of dummy half, dodges left, dodges right, trying to take advantage of some tired Temora forwards before he gets taken by Chris Rands. Quick play the ball, Gorman throws it back off the inside to Hay, steps left, steps right. Tries to offload it to KOTOILAKEBA, but he gets wrapped up. Only 30 more metres to go here for the Tigers. Let's see what they can do here at Anzac Park as they offload it at the back there to Gorman. He manages to make the break. Oh, no, he's tackled. That was a great ankle tap there for the Dragons. So close here. Oh, no, and they've managed to... This is a scare right here. I'm surprised that he wasn't sent for 10 there. I mean, obviously slowing down the play of the ball at such a crucial time. But the Tigers managed to get the penalty nonetheless. Tapped by Hamblin, throws off the inside to KOTOILAKEBA, who runs hard at the centre of the post before being brought down centimetres from the try line. Only 2 minutes to go, 2 points the difference. Gundagai continues to tag at the right-hand side. Hey, offloads it, throws outside to their main man, Morgan. Oh, doesn't do any good. He gets pulled down a couple of feet short. They continue to tackle towards the centre of the field. Some great attacking play here, but desperate defence also from the Dragons. Only we get into the final 2 minutes. They offload it to Hay. Takes one look, throws the cutout pass to Gorman. Oh, great tackle. Oh, he's intercepted. Oh, that is a fantastic. He get off his line quickly. They put the pressure on Gorman and managed to take the intercept. Great play from the Dragons, as now they try and put the pressure on. As Joel Kelly comes off his wing to take a run through the centre of the field before getting tackled on the 40. Oh, that just showed the desperation of the Dragons there to try and take this game. And they give away the penalty. I think the Tigers doing so much in defence there. Got off the line just a bit too quickly. And as we get almost close to the 1 minute mark here in this game of Group 9 Rugby League, the Dragons get the penalty. And they'll slow it down as much as they can, and they lead the Tigers 22 points to 20. I tell you what, Josh McGrone asking the ref a couple of questions and burning a couple of very crucial seconds off the clock. But he takes a kick and manages to get it, and they'll take the tap on the 25-metre mark. And it looks like that Stewart takes the tap. So far getting a try-scoring double this afternoon. He wants to try and add a third to it. No good so far. As they continue to tackle through the centre of the field, they're going to not do anything wrong. Very simple hit-ups and no mistake football is what they're aiming for. Lomax pass it back on the inside of the field to McCrone. Offloads it to Morris, who keeps pumping those legs to try and get over and see if he can score one of his own. But the Tigers throw him back as he gets tackled on the 10. Lomax comes out of his own end. See, there's only 10 seconds to go. Takes the tackle himself. Don't be surprised if he gets up very slowly from this. It came down the last 2 seconds. And that is the game of football. And what an amazing game we've had this afternoon here at Anzac Park. These two top 5 sides knowing exactly what they're made of. But in the end, it's the Temora Dragons taking out the win 22 points to 20. And they managed to retain the Challenge Cup. Thank you for joining us here for All In Sports. We appreciate your company. And join us again next week where we'll be broadcasting live from Harris Park, the home of the South Sydney Bulls. See you then.